Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Polio Jr. And in case you haven't noticed, the Inner Circle podcast episodes are slowly disappearing from Polio Jr. DIY. And why is that? Because as you can see on my screen, um, the Inner Circle podcast is becoming its own entity. So we want to see how this podcast is realistically doing. We want to see how it's going to do as well, obviously. But so we want to keep it separate from my channel. We just see how the Inner Circle podcast does on its own by itself. So um, it will no longer be available on Polio Jr. DIY. It will only be available at the Inner Circle podcast, which I will, of course, have a link in the description, and it will also be on my featured channel lists as well. So I might have a few promotions here and there, but I just want everybody to know, of course, the Inner Circle podcast did not disappear. It has just moved location. So we are starting from scratch. um, like I said, I will have the links in the description, and you will see over the course of today the episodes being withdrawn from Polio Jr. and being uploaded to the Inner Circle podcast. So we really hope to get anybody who has listened to it, anybody that's a fan of my channel or CJ's Info's channel, over to the Inner Circle podcast. And of course, we always ask that you would subscribe and listen to what we have to say, no matter how ridiculous it is. And just to let everybody know that we are available for audio only. Now, as of right now, this is kind of our main spot is anchor.fm/Inner Circle podcast. And there's links there if you're on the web browser for, as you will see here, on radiopublic.com is another place where we have our podcasts. We also have our podcasts on Pocket Casts, and last but not least, we are finally on Google Podcasts, which is phenomenal. So I'm extremely happy about this, about having our podcast, with up there with the rest of them, at least searchable there with the rest of them. So you can search us on all of those different platforms, and of course, we are always going to have the videos on YouTube, with screen sharing and so forth. It's a little bit of a better experience, but obviously there isn't anything wrong with just listening to it. So just want to let everybody know that we have moved the Inner Circle podcast to its own channel. Link will be in the description. And it's very interesting starting over, starting a brand new channel, because you realize some of the limitations that you have as a new YouTuber. So, but at least you guys there will be absolutely zero advertisements throughout these videos, which is definitely a benefit for the listeners. So, but thank you guys very much for your support. I just ask that you please head over to the Inner Circle podcast YouTube page and subscribe, and keep looking out for the newer episodes that CJ's Info and I keep putting out. So that's all I have for today. Just wanted to let you know where those podcasts were going. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever it is. And I will, of course, as always, see you in the next one. Later.